Welcome to the Larry Janae podcast. This is episode number 2. I appreciate you joining very much and hope you get some value from this podcast. Let's talk about the future of industrial space, starting with small bay industrial, and I categorize that as sub 10,000 square foot spaces and multi-tenant buildings. Small bay industrial will definitely see a pause in leasing activity. However, that's only going to be in the short term. In the medium to long term, small bay will continue to perform very nicely, achieving pre-COVID market rents or better, depending on location and functionality. The smaller bays with dock high loading and good clear heights, as well as sprinklers, will command a premium over anything grade level with lower clear heights and no sprinklers. Pre-COVID rental rates for functionally obsolete space, meaning grade level, low clear heights, no sprinklers, depending on the location, was hovering anywhere between $9 a square foot to $12 a square foot. Functional product with either dock wells or dock high doors, good clear heights, and sprinklers was obtaining anywhere between $12 and $16 a foot. In some cases, we were able to get as high as $18 to $20 a square foot, although that wasn't the broader market. That was just some outliers that we were lucky to achieve. Moving on to mid-bay industrial, I think the post-COVID environment, and this is just my opinion, will be within a range of the previous market pricing. I think we'll see a 5% dip on achievable rates. I do think we will see an uptick in vacancy. And as a result, there will be greater rent concessions applied to new deals. I think renewals will, for the most part, hold firm. Tougher spaces will have to price accordingly, but functional spaces should be able to hold rate within a range that's reasonable. And at the end of the day, 4, 6, 8 months down the road, I do think pricing will recover to pre-COVID levels for small bay industrial. It's a good thing for acquisitions folks. That's a good thing for anyone who's bought anything in the last 3 to 5 years. And look, during this crisis, in the heat of it, in the middle, in the thick of it, when everyone was buying toilet paper and deep freezers, our team was working hard to get deals done, and we were able to achieve great rents on all the deals we've done. We've done 8 deals since the beginning of March. As of this being recorded, it is now May 5th. We've been able to do at least 8 deals, if not 1 or 2 more that I might be forgetting, and they were all at market or better. Some did have a little bit of an enhanced free rent, but we would have done that pre-COVID anyways to get a deal done at a good rent. So it's nothing to be concerned about. Moving on to mid-bay, which I would categorize as 10,000 to 25,000, maybe 30,000 square feet. There might be a little bit more weakness. There might be a little bit more compression on rental rates. I don't know of anyone who's dropped their rents yet. We don't intend to. We have not spoken to any clients who have asked us if it would be a good idea. It's never even been mentioned as of this date. I'm not overly concerned about a couple of months free rent, because if we had to do any construction in the space whatsoever regarding a permit, it would have taken 6 months regardless. So at the end of the day, we just need to get these deals done. We need to make sure that the rental rates are fair, and if not fair, then they should be strong. And so far, we're achieving that in the worst of the worst. So, it may be worse 30 days from now. I happen to think it'll be better. So if we're able to achieve market or better in the current environment, then I really do have to believe things will get better 30, 60, 90, 120 days down the road. That is a very good sign for the market, and everyone should be pushing towards that goal of getting spaces filled, getting them filled quickly, not messing around with deals, but at the same time, do the best you can for your client. Pre-COVID for mid-bay, we were striking anywhere from $825 to $875, sometimes $925, $950, depending on where the building was located, for 10 to call it 25, 30,000 foot spaces. Those are triple net numbers with another between $275 and $375 a square foot in OpEx. We have been able to achieve some outliers. Some deals we've gotten done in the last month or two have been above market. That was because the tenants got stuck and they had no other options. So we were able to really jam them. And we've achieved over market pre-COVID rents on several deals in the mid-bay range. Again, that's a very positive sign. Post-COVID, as things start to unwind, debt comes back to the market, in greater numbers than what we're seeing right now, and businesses start reopening, I do think we'll see a resurgence of deal activity. I think we'll see more absorption, but in the short term, you're definitely going to see a trailing off of activity and absorption. Vacancy rates will go up, but not dramatically. And I don't even think they'll go up in line with the GFC, the global financial crisis type numbers. I think we'll hold lower than that, at least in industrial. We're poised to do very, very well coming out of this terrible crisis in industrial. Post-COVID rents for mid-bay should range anywhere in the $775 to $825, $850 a square foot range. Depends how desperate the tenant is and how successful their business are. Anyone who's just won a contract, anyone who has government-related business, anyone who has a successful business but lost their space because the guy next to them rented it out from under them and they weren't notified. Those are the people who are going to be doing deals in the short term. We've already done several of those deals. The deals that get done will not be $4, $5, $6 gross rents. I just don't see that happening today. Could change, but as of this recording on 5/5/2020, I just don't see that happening. Moving on to bulk distribution, the love of Wall Street for the last few years. Had a hell of a run, man, I'll tell you. Bulk distribution has just been doing so well. We've been building on every piece of dirt we can find, no matter how big or how small. Investors used to only want to look at 10 acres and more. By the time we had reached the peak pre-COVID, everyone and their mother was trying to do deals on 5 acres, 6 acres, 7 acres, which had never happened before. Construction prices were through the roof. People were really stretching to get buildings out of the ground. And it was a total feeding frenzy. That obviously has cooled. I haven't seen a land trade since February that wasn't already pending in contract and moving forward. No new deals have been put under contract and or closed. We don't yet know where land pricing is or if there's a ferocious appetite for land. I would venture to say that there's not. But if something were to come to market in the middle of Broward, in the middle of Dayton, a great location, perfect rectangle, 10, 15, 20 acres, you bet you'll still have 5, 10, 15 offers, no question. It just won't be 100 offers. And I do think the pricing will be decent given that it'll take between 2 and 3 years to get the buildings out of ground, get them finished and CO'd. We should be well out of this mess by then, I would imagine. Bulk distribution space, pricing pre-COVID, I think anybody would agree, was easily between $850 and $925 a square foot triple net, depending on the location and when the deal was signed. I'm not talking about deals done 2-3 years ago. I'm talking about deals done in the last 6-12 months. There were some outliers that you'll see, in the $750, $775 range, but for the majority of deals were done between $850 and $925 net. Those are deals from 30, 40,000 square feet up to 100, 150, 200,000 square feet. Post-COVID, for bulk distribution space, there's no reason you won't see similar rental rates. There may be some groups that have great land cost, land basis, who underwrote cheaper rents and just took a long time to get out of the ground. They're still going to want to do market, but if they're forced to, they'll do deals between, $725 and $775 a square foot. The new construction is almost all institutional, and even if it's privately built, it's built with institutional money. They do have staying power. They did underwrite 6, 9, 12 months of carry and hold in most cases. They did underwrite construction costs and construction timing taking 6 to 7 months. There's no panic. There's no rush to lease these spaces. There are groups that are still out. There are RFPs on the street for 50, 60, 100, 150,000 square feet that we're working on right now. There is still activity, although not at the same ferocious pace, of course, let's be honest, but there's still an appetite for big bulk distribution spaces. The spaces that'll do really well coming out of this will have unique features like trailer parking, enhanced car parking, 36-foot clear heights with reinforced concrete floors to carry that load of all that material. I-95 or turnpike frontage, 595 frontage. Signage is a big deal. There's a lot of industrial tenants out there who think they're retailers. They love that 95 frontage. It helps a lot. Even a lot of true distributors like Ferguson, HVAC, Johnson Controls. A lot of companies out there who really like that frontage on major highways. So all the contractors and vendors and people who come to them every day can easily find them and locate them. Goodman HVAC is another one. They really like to be on the end caps. They really like to have that frontage. In any case, if you've got great clear heights, great heavy power, trailer parking, 36-foot clear heights, I-95 frontage, if you've got one or all of those attributes, you should be very safe and you should do very well post-COVID. I'm expecting rental rates to be in the $750 to $925 a square foot range, depending on the quality of the project and the location. If you have outside storage or trailer parking, there will be a VIG added on to that. You could very well exceed $925, $950. There are very few options that can offer that or have it existing on a project. Everyone who knows anything about industrial knows that parking ratios have climbed tremendously. They know that trailer parking has become tremendously important. It always was, but in the last few years, with the advent of e-commerce, the amount of staging of cars, trucks, and vans has exploded. If you have excess land and you need staging, parking, storage for your empties, there are very few options that can offer that. These are multi-billion-dollar corporations. They're not going to be scared off by 50 or 75 cents a square foot. If they really need to have something in a critical location for a critical operation, that's going to complete their supply chain. So look, at the end of the day, this is all really good news. It's good news for investors. It's good news for owners. Tenants, I don't think we'll get the benefit of an onslaught or a bloodbath and be able to renegotiate $4, $5, $6, $7 gross rents. I just don't see that happening. Maybe in really terrible areas and terribly functionally obsolete buildings, that's possible. That's not what I'm talking about in this podcast. So I hope this brought some value to you. I hope it answered some lingering questions you might have. We're on the front lines. We're doing deals every day. We just closed another one yesterday. We're holding firm, and I'm excited and encouraged about where we're heading in industrial. So this is Larry Janae. Thank you for listening. I'm signing off. Hope you're all doing well, staying safe. Let me know if there's anything my team can do for you. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much.